The beginning, the Bodyguard and the Mistress. Rian had served as a soldier during the Orion Wars, before finding himself hired as personal protection for one of the richest alien nobles in the Andaris cluster. Humans were considered crude but loyal, useful shield for those who preferred others to bleed in their defense. The first time he saw Lady Velaris, she was standing in her throne chamber, surrounded by floating spheres of violet light. Her skin was opalescent, refracting colors with each motion, her eyes like nebulae, vast and ancient. "You are the human," she said, her voice smooth and layered with musical tones. "Yes," he answered stiffly. "You will address me as Mistress," she corrected. He clenched his jaw. "Yes, Mistress." She smiled faintly. "We shall see if your loyalty matches your reputation." Rian thought she was just another arrogant noble. But as days passed, he realized she was more calculating, sharp, and endlessly curious about the human assigned to protect her. The test, the temptation of treasures. One evening, the mansion went quiet. The guards dismissed. The sensors off. Velaris summoned Rian and spoke lightly, almost playfully. "I must leave for the council summit. My vault will remain sealed, except for the upper gallery. There you will find my treasures. You will guard them." He saluted. "Understood." Her gaze lingered. "Do not touch what is not yours, human. The items within are sensitive." When she left, Rian assumed she didn't trust him. He didn't blame her. Humans had a reputation for greed. But when he entered the gallery, he froze. It wasn't a room, it was a wonderland. Floating relics shimmered in antigraph fields. Crystals hummed softly, exuding warmth. A crown of pure starlight hovered above a pedestal, radiating gentle energy. And in the center, encased in glass, lay a necklace unlike any he'd ever seen. A thin strand of living metal, its gems pulsing with light like a heartbeat. For 2 days, Rian stood guard, never touching a thing. But curiosity gnawed at him. The necklace seemed to call to him in whispers. On the third night, he reached out. The moment his fingers brushed the glass, a surge of energy shot through him. The vault lights dimmed. A voice echoed behind him. "So," said Lady Velaris, stepping from the shadows, "the human touches. The middle, the punishment and the truth." Rian spun, eyes wide. "Mistress, I didn't mean." Her expression was unreadable, her glow faintly violet. "I left that necklace exposed for a reason. I wished to see what you would do when temptation offered itself freely." His throat tightened. "You set me up." "I tested you," she corrected, stepping closer. "Humans are notorious for weakness." "Then I failed," he said bitterly. "If you want me gone, say it." But she didn't. Instead, she circled him like a predator studying prey. "You touched the heartstring. Do you know what it is?" He shook his head. "It is a relic bound to emotion," she said softly. "When held, it reveals the truth of one's desire." Her gaze met his. "And you reach for it." He flushed, anger and embarrassment clashing inside him. "It's a necklace, not a confession." But the artifact still pulsed behind him, resonating faintly, matching the rhythm of his heartbeat. Velaris' lips curved faintly. "Interesting." The revelation, the human's heart. The following days were awkward. Velaris resumed her usual composure, but her eyes lingered longer, her questions sharper. "You fight well, human," she remarked after the training session. "Yet you hide something." "Maybe I'm tired," he said. "Or maybe," she countered, "you are drawn to things you cannot have." Rian froze. Her tone softened. "When I first saw you, I thought humans simple creatures. Brave, yes, but driven by impulse. Now I see you are dangerous in a different way." "How's that?" "You make even the untouchable wonder what it would feel like to be touched." Her words struck deeper than they should have. He was just a god. She was an immortal ruler. Their worlds weren't meant to touch. Yet the distance between them shrank with each passing night. Conversations turned personal. She asked about Earth, its oceans, its skies, its music. He asked about her people, the Laurent, who felt emotion as color and energy. "You humans bleed red," she said once, "but we bleed light. When we love, it burns us from within." He smiled faintly. "Guess we're not so different after all." The conflict, the assassin strike. The fragile connection shattered one night when assassins breached the palace. Mercenaries from rival houses, trained to kill without sound. Rian woke to alarms. Without hesitation, he sprinted to Velaris' chambers. The door exploded inward as plasma fire lit the air. He dove in front of her, deflecting the shots with his shield field. "Get behind me," he barked. But Valara was no helpless noble. Her hands glowed, conjuring blades of radiant light. Together, they fought through the attackers, moving as one, his grit and her grace in perfect sync. When the last assassin fell, Rian collapsed to one knee, bleeding from a plasma wound to his side. Valara knelt beside him, hands trembling. "You're hurt." "I've had worse," he grunted. Her touch glowed against his skin, sealing the wound with alien energy. But as she did, the heartstring necklace materialized from the ether, floating between them, its light now crimson and gold. "It reacts to truth," she whispered. He looked into her eyes. "Then it knows what I feel." Silence stretched. Her glow dimmed slightly, her voice unsteady. "Say it." He swallowed hard. "You were never just my mission." Her hand cupped his face. "And you were never just my god." The ending, the mistress and her human. When dawn broke over House Valara, the air shimmered with renewal. The assassins were gone, the court subdued, and whispers filled the holes of what had transpired. Lady Valara appeared before her council later that day, wearing the heartstring around her throat, its gems no longer violet, but gold. "The relic has chosen," she declared. "It bound to the one who proved loyalty through desire, not deceit." Behind her stood Rian, silent as ever. The council murmured, scandalized. No Laurent noble had ever acknowledged attachment to a human. But her word was law. After the meeting, she dismissed her attendants and approached him in private. "You know what you've done," she said softly. "Saved your life," he asked. She smiled. "Ruined my reputation." He laughed quietly. "Sorry about that." She stepped closer. "Do you regret it?" He met her gaze. "Not for a second." Her hand rested on his chest, feeling his heartbeat. "Then perhaps my test failed, for I wanted you to resist." "And now?" he asked. Her voice was barely a whisper. "Now I'm glad you didn't." They left the luminous court soon after, vanishing into the stars aboard her private cruiser. Rumors spread of a runaway mistress and the human who stole her heart, of treasures left behind in a relic that no longer pulsed with light, because it had found its match. In the quiet of the ship, she turned to him one night, eyes glowing softly in the dim cabin. "Do you still think I were testing you?" He smiled. "I think we both were." And when she leaned in, the heartstring around her neck shimmered once more, not as a symbol of power, but as proof that even in the vastness of the stars, desire could bridge the impossible.